Hello and welcome back to my hardcore world. I'm RayneofKalamity and I've survived over 3,900 days all without a totem. And I'm trying to make a fully traversable and walkable city within hardcore Minecraft. And last time we built this. This is the Riverside Resort. It is one of many buildings that I am adding into my city. But not only did we build this big, beautiful resort, which has 4 different floors outside of the resort, we also built a lovely little bank. And if we pop up here, we've built in a little bakery because I want to do full interiors. Because if this is going to be fully walkable, it's got to look nice, you know? So with that, we are going to continue on this idea as we are working on Villager Island, which is this whole area you see here. As this clock tower is my villager breeder, this is my villager converter, and we have to have plenty of spaces for all of the villagers to live and thrive. Now, this time we are going to be adding here. I know 2 of the buildings we want to add. I want to add a lovely little flower stall here, and then I want this one to be kind of like a metaphysical knick-knack shop you would see at any little touristy place with like crystals and candles and a bunch of junk. And then this one, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do here, but I'm sure I'll figure it out along the way. And if you'd like to watch me struggle on figuring out, feel free to pop by twitch.tv/RayneofKalamity, as this is a stream world. Or if that's not your style, feel free to hit that subscribe button right here on YouTube, as it really does help out. And you can stay up to date on all the things happening on this hardcore world or with other videos coming soon. But for now, let's shift gears back to the flower shop. I want this to be made out of bricks, granite, terracotta, and a couple of other more gritty blocks. However, I know for a fact I don't have those. So let's get to a little bit of supply gathering. And the supply gather began in the storage room. As I knew I had a lot of the blocks I wanted to use for this, I just didn't know how much I had of each. And with that figured out, it was time to get some bricks from the trading hall. And then it was off to get some granite from our quarry, a quick pop through to the nether so we could head to the mesa and get some terracotta. And after that, it was time to prep the area and to begin terraforming the area down so that we'd have a flat space to work on. With a flat space sorted out, it was time to move the beacon so I could actually build in this space and see what I was doing. And now that we have this flat space, I want to put a big industrial sized or styled brick building here with lots of arches, narrow windows, and all of that. So let's get into it. And to start off, I decided I was just going to flat everything in. Since I don't know exactly what I'm building here, I just have a general idea. So we started with the floor and then figuring out where all the walls were going to go. And then I was trying to figure out exactly where I wanted these arches to go over the boardwalk, because I wanted it to have a covered feeling. That way we could kind of have this sort of immersive feeling with it. The arches were a lot easier to figure out than I thought they were going to be. I figured they would give me a little bit of trouble, but by just flattening them in and not worrying about texture and focusing on the shape, it came together rather quickly. I wanted to make sure that this feels a certain way when coming down those stairs. With the general shape of the arches figured out, it was really easy to start putting them all in place and getting this really flushed out in a shape. Especially since I do want the area for the flower shop to be open, so these arches really help with that open, airy feeling. Once all of the arches were in place, I decided I was just going to flat in once again all of the walls that I would worry about texturing later. With all the walls in place and all of the arches on the first floor in place, it was time to figure out what we were doing with a ceiling, as outside the feel of walking down and into here was kind of giving what I wanted it to. Obviously, it needed a lot of details, so I shifted to the second floor to kind of figure out how this building was going to sort of rise out of this space and away from the river. And honestly, trying to figure out how the internal walls and all of the windows were going to go kind of just happened. It worked really nicely. I very much enjoyed the flow of it. And here's what we have so far. It definitely needs texturing. I did just flat in all of the bricks, but I'm starting to get to that, as this is the basic shape for the first 2 floors. The third floor is going to be a greenhouse owned and operated by the flower shop downstairs. So we'll have a nice contrast with the complementary colors of the green and the reds and the pinks. But if we pop down here, we can see exactly how these arches are coming together. And I love the feeling of walking through here, especially once this is an overgrown open air plant shop flower market where I'm going to store all my flowers and seeds. I'm so excited for this, and I love the way it feels walking up here. It's got such a nice, tight feeling. We have our entrance to the 2 apartments that will be here for redemptions, and we have the stairs for the flower shop's greenhouse up here. Now, all that's left is to put in the greenhouse and then actually start doing a lot of the details. So I think that's what we're going to get to right now. And here we have it. The final build. For at least this one. We still have to do over there. But this is the flower pot, as we have named it. So we have 2 apartments that will be available for redemption. Down here, we have... Oh, I missed. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Down here, we have the actual flower pot shop. I do have to put up a sign. I'm going to put it right there. But we have all of the flower storage. So we have storage for all of my flowers in here. This way I will have to wander through here. I'm probably going to remove that because I didn't think it would activate when there's a whole goddamn building above it. But it's dead set on doing its job. It's dead set on doing its job. But we have every space is... flower storage of some kind. They are all organized and labeled. So torch flowers. I believe this one is poppies, but I don't see myself having that many. We have extra storage there for poppies. We have all sorts of different things. I also have some storage for like the plants I use for decoration. So we have wheat seeds, carrots, beets, all those things that I like to use in a little bit of detailing. We have spaces for flower pots that are for sale. A bunch of little flower tables. I really like how this turned out a lot. And I genuinely enjoy the feeling of walking down, which was one of the things I focused on the most by walking down here. I still have to fix right here. I did forget about it, but that's a future me problem. If there's not some place that I need to finish / fix by the end of the build, it's not really a Reign of Calamity build in my mind. Because let's be real, I still haven't finished this one. There's that right there. That's supposed to be the sign for the Riverside Resort, and I just never put it in, and I forgot about it, and I keep forgetting about it, and I'll probably always forget about it, and it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, you know what? That's part of it, you know? If we walk in here, we have the 2 apartments that are going to be listed, and then back here, we have the greenhouse. Oh, I forgot a flower. For an extra storage for the flower pot itself. This is where the flower pot gets all of its flowers. They are all homegrown. And I very much enjoy it. We have a nice little sun cover for, you know, greenery and a nice little workbench here. We have our little hose area that is off. We have some things that are already ready to go downstairs in their little carts, all the 2 tall flowers. I think it still needs a little bit more in the upper regions, but I'm not entirely sure exactly what we're doing. We have like a little extra greenery here. We got some plants growing, another flower pot area. We have a nice little bag of fertilizer. I really like how this turned out. We've got sprinklers, so every day the plants get watered from above. Plus we have the hose. It's it's a build that I really like how it turned out. I very much enjoy also how it looks when we're walking past up here. You get a lot of the little details. I was really worried about not having enough greenery up high, but I think it's just enough, right? I think it's just enough that it's not overpowering and it's not drawing all of the attention. And, you know, you don't want to overclutter space that doesn't need to be. You know, sometimes less is more, sometimes more is more. It's a balancing act, and I'm very happy with how this turned out. Now, we get to turn our attention away from the flower pot. It also kind of looks like a flower pot now that I look at it. To right here. And as you can see, I did throw down some palette ideas. And ultimately, we decided on the yellow and the green building. And we've also decided that the metaphysical kind of touristy shop that's going to go down at the bottom will also be the entrance into back here, where we're going to eventually put a black market district. This will have to probably get opened up a little bit more, especially once we begin tearing this section down. We'll probably open up into here, and I might do a little bit more back there. That is what we're going to get into right now. So let's head to spawn and grab a bunch of supplies. And I grabbed a bunch of concrete powder, lime terracotta, lime concrete, yellow concrete, and then realized I didn't have enough gravel for all of the concrete we were going to have to make. So I went to my favorite place, the Nether, for some gravel. And then I made up all the rest of the supplies we were going to need and even converted them into their solid forms. Then it was on to terraforming down the space so we'd actually be able to build it out. With the space terraformed out, it was time to figure out and block in the actual shape of the shop and all of the floors and walls. Now, this building gave me a little bit of trouble given the fact that it's so close to the flower pot and the black market district behind it. So this building went through several iterations before I tore it down, built it back up, and tore it down again. And unfortunately, we had a lot of annoying friends. Eventually, I did find my stride and things began to make a lot more sense, and we were off to the races with building this bad boy out. And this is where we are so far. I really hate the second floor so far. I have a different idea for maybe doing side windows because my chat said it looked like a minion and now I can't unsee it, so it's gotta go. I think from here, the bamboo down is going to stay, but from above it, it's too messy, it's too awkward. We pop down here. I think it does have a good eye line, but I'm never going to unsee the minion at this point. So, yeah. This is how we're going to be getting into the building on top. This is technically two buildings. This is going to be like a metaphysical tarot card kind of shop with a bunch of crystals on the wall and all that. Back here is going to be where you get like your fortune read, and we're going to do a 1x2 piston door into the black market district that's back here. But that's a future me problem. For now, we have all of the space for the shop and everything like that. I do have to sort out these walls, and what I want to do, if we pop out here, is have this be a standalone building and put a roof on it. And then this is going to be the elevator up, so it looks like the green building, which will probably start about this level and go to roughly there, maybe a little higher. I don't want it to be in line with the sign, but roughly there is going to be a lime green and yellow building that I want to make it look like it is supported on top of the roof of this building and down to the ground here, because it is going to pop out to give us a little bit of cover. So I think we're gonna continue on with this. I'm gonna try and sort out what we're doing with this building, maybe get a roof on it, and I'll show you guys that. So let's do that. Okay, and here is what we have so far. I am desperately struggling with the green building, so ignore it. Just forget about it. It's not real. It can't hurt you. However, the yellow building I am quite happy with. and it is in its final form. The windows are really nice. Can you not? Please, I'm recording a video. Thank you. But we have this wonderful doorway, which I didn't change. We come in here. It is a little dark, but not too dark. I didn't do the room back here. We'll deal with that once the green building is taken care of and build a piston door. I'm not avoiding building a piston door. You are. Shut up. Anyway, if we come up here, we'll have space for more display shelves and things like that for the shop that this is, because it's just a shop. And then this will be the elevator up. I am very happy with how this has turned out. We've even started putting little details on it, like an AC unit and stuff like that. I think the green building actually has to come down more, which means this will block this window. And I'm a little sad about that, but I guess it is what it is. I feel like there's too much space here, which would then require the supports to hold this up. This is also very, very green. Like, oh my god, it's green. So I'm going to fiddle with this to try and get it all sorted out and brought down. It kind of looks like a frog, or what is that? Garden of Banban characters. Don't at me. I'm gonna fix this building. Give me a second. And here we have it. Both buildings are done. Even have some little details going up with the AC units on the side. We got a little detailing on the roof, so it's not perfectly flat. And we have a creeper in the hole. Okay, hold on. How about... No. Were you alone? I think they were alone. Cool. Neat. This hole needs to be dealt with, but I refuse to do it at this point. But for now, let's take a look at everything that has been done. We have 4 new apartments, and all of them are accessible through the elevator here. Got some nice big units that'll be great for redemptions. I think we're calling this building the Sea Pickle, but I'm not entirely sure. We've got some detailing up there with some greenery and the AC unit on top of the metaphysical shop, and we have a full annoying interior. I'm really happy with how this turned out. You can buy your crystals, your candles, a squishy crystal, some mushrooms, you know, some other crystals. Get yourself some lanterns. I assume this is like the lady that works here that does your tarot back here, this room. I'm very happy. We've got some floating candles. We got a place where you would sit. We got a place where she would sit. We got a nice crystal ball that's floating. This is the light source in here, by the way. The conduit, or Heart of the Sea, whatever this thing is. I think it's the conduit, yeah. And we have all of that. We even have a lovely little hand washing sink that leads to back here. And it is fully accessible from both sides. I'm not a redstone person, but I am learning, and I'm proud of myself for this very simple door that moves all 3 of these, so it is hidden. And I'm very happy with this. We got to get some books in here to make this a little bit more filled out, but that's a future me problem. And if we come up here, we have a place where you can buy like your candelabras, some more crystals, a bunch of other things. We've got some greenery in here that hangs over the edge. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I'm super happy. We got our nice little register, a place to sit when, you know, whoever works here is not working and the shop is empty. We gotta do out here, but I'm not gonna do the walkway out here until we get to this building, as this building is gonna, I think, cause quite a few problems because it will be the back of the black market district, and I'm not entirely sure how it's going to fit in to the black market district, whether it has multiple shops, like one that's the front of house facing or one that's the back of house facing. But that is a problem. But that is a problem for future me. And I think this is a great place to stop. I am so surprised with how this building turned out. I picked the green as a way to challenge myself and didn't think it would work out this well. But I'm very happy with both how the green, I think we're calling this one the sea pickle, but I'm not entirely sure, how the sea pickle's going, how the metaphysical shop went, how the flower pot went. We got a lot added to the city skyline here. And next time I think we're gonna do these two. We're gonna do one here and then this area right here, this big rounded boy. And I cannot wait for that. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. I super appreciate it. If you liked the video, hit that like button, and if you're already not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button or go follow on Twitch if you want to watch how this goes down live. Thank you for watching once again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!